guys, hope you are doing good and you have done with the dimensional analysis introductory video. And in this video, we are going to understand many other physical quantities and their formulas, and we will be deriving dimensional formula after that. So I'd seen many students cramming these dimensional formulas, but this is not a suitable method to learn dimensional analysis because all you need to do is to remember the formulas for the same. If you remember the formulas, then your job is done. So in this session, I'll be covering 30 or 35 dimensional formulas that are basic dimensional formulas, and we will be deriving them. And I'll make you understand deeply what exactly those physical quantities are. So let us proceed with our next physical quantity.
Now our next quantity is speed and velocity. Notice here speed and velocity both are different quantities. We cannot say that they are same, but they have same dimensional formula. That's why I'll be considering both of them in the same article. That is, let us consider an example. If this car is to move from this point till this point, right? If it is moving from this point to this point, then I can say that this black line which you are seeing is a distance, and it is also called path length. Path length is the total distance covered by a body. Apart from that, this distance, which is a distance between starting point and ending point, that is the shortest distance between 2 points, is termed as displacement. Now, this car has started from this point and has reached at the destination, suppose in the same interval of time, that is 5 hours. So speed is path length upon time interval, and velocity is displacement upon time interval. Now displacement is given as its unit is meter upon time is second, that is meter per second, and meter is nothing but length upon a second is nothing but time, that is L1 t raised to minus 1. So distance covered per unit time, it is called velocity, or we can also say the speed, that is the path length per unit time interval. Here distance and displacement, distance is called scalar quantity while displacement is called vector quantity. Here if I define displacement has a distance, displacement has a direction, that is from this much theta, that is up till this much theta, from north, east, south and west, then it is the car is moving at an angle of theta with respect to east. Means we can say that if you will move if you will move uh, at theta degree with respect to east by, if I can say here 500 kilometer, then you will reach at this destination. That means it is fixed, it is depending on a distance, it is depending on it is depending on a direction, it has a direction. Hence velocity is a vector quantity and speed is a scalar quantity, and their dimensional formula is L1 t minus 1, that is meter per second. Let us take a look at second quantity, that is acceleration. Let us consider this path, and on this path my car is moving. If it moves with a constant velocity, then acceleration is 0. Means it is not accelerating, speed is not changing with respect to time. But if speed start to increase with a spending time, that is with some time interval, then it is said to be an accelerated motion. Our car is performing an accelerated motion. Means acceleration is nothing but change in speed or change in velocity. Here for a straight line, velocity and speed are same because displacement and distance will be same. So change in velocity upon time interval is equals to acceleration A. Now change in velocity, that will have a unit of velocity, and time interval, that will have a unit of time. So for a unit or unit of velocity, as we had seen in a previous quantity, that is meter per second is a unit of velocity, and time is also a second. That means I have a unit, that is meter per second square. As this one, if it will move in the numerator, it will become minus 1. So meter per second square, it is a unit of acceleration. And for dimensional formula, for A is equals to dimensional formula of velocity, that is L1 t raised to minus 1 divided by dimensional formula of time, that is t raised to 1, and that will give me L1 t raised to minus 2. So this is dimensional formula for acceleration. Now our next quantities are plane angle and solid angle. I have explained plane angle and solid angle in our previous session. If you haven't attended that previous session on plane angle and solid angle, then you can pause this video and first of all see the explanation of plane angle and solid angle, understand both the quantities clearly, and now we will be defining only dimensional formulas. I'm not explaining what is plane angle and solid angle here because I've already explained it, right? So for plane angle, theta is equals to arc length upon radius. Arc length we used to measure in, it is a length, so it is measured in meter. Radius is measured in meter, right? So meter will be cancelled out, and theta, which is radian, which is measured in radian, it is dimensionless because for dimensional formula of theta, L1 and L1 will be cancelled out and it will become dimensionless, that is m will be 0, L will be 0, and t will also be 0. It is dimensionless. For solid angle, steradian is equals to area upon square of radius, right? For area we have dimensional formula, that is L square, and for radius, that is meter square, it has also dimensional formula of L square. Hence it will also cancel out each other and it will become dimensionless. So plane angle and solid angle both are dimensionless, they don't have their dimensions. Now our next quantity is density. Now consider a metal block and a wooden block. They have same dimensions, that means their volume is same, but their masses are different. So I can say that wooden or iron block or a metal block will have more mass compared to the wooden block of same size. So I can say that density of metal block is more compared to density of wooden block. Here I have kept volume constant, and according to their masses their density increases. Means if mass is more, then density is more. I can say that density is directly proportional to mass, and I can also say that from this example you can see both papers are same, but this paper is covering more volume and this paper has covered very less volume. Though these both paper balls are made up of the paper of same size, same mass, but as I squeezed more, this is squeezed more, hence it becomes more denser. That means if I increase the volume, density decreases, and if I decrease the volume, density increases. That means how denser it is it inversely proportional to volume. That means if volume increases, density decreases, mass increases, density increases, hence it is in direct proportion. So formula of density I can give it as rho is equals to mass upon volume. Its unit will be mass is represented as kilogram, volume is represented as meter cube, and its dimensional formula can be given as, for mass I will be writing m1, and for density I will be writing L cube, sorry, for volume I will be writing L cube, and collectively it can be written as m1 L raised to minus 3 T0, because it doesn't depend on time. So this is dimensional formula of density. So remember only formula. Density is nothing but mass upon volume. From that you can easily derive what will be its dimensional formula. So we will continue with the other quantities in the next video. Thank you.